Before pool halls and smoky bars, before trick shots and legendary hustlers, pool was a game played by kings. It's a story that travels from the manicured lawns of European royalty to the underground halls of American fame. This is the surprising, untold story of how pool became the world's most iconic cue sport. Pool's earliest ancestor wasn't played on a felt table, but on the grass of 15th century Northern Europe. Imagine a game very similar to croquet, where players used sticks to hit balls through hoops. This lawn game was a favorite pastime for the nobility. It was sophisticated, strategic, and a perfect way to spend a sunny afternoon. But what happens when it rains? Well, the nobles decided to bring the fun indoors. By the 1600s, the game had moved onto tables. To pay homage to its outdoor origins, these tables were covered in green cloth, mimicking the grass of the lawns where it all began. The early players didn't use the sleek cue sticks we know today. Instead, they used a mace, which was essentially a small club used to shove or push the balls rather than strike them. It was a simple tool for a simple version of the game. But as the game evolved, a problem arose. When a ball was frozen against the rail, or the cushion, the large head of the mace made it clumsy and difficult to hit. Players started turning the mace around and using the thin tail end thing, which they called the cue French for tail. This small innovation was the first step toward the modern cue stick, allowing for a level of precision and finesse that the mace could never offer. The transition from the mace to the cue stick in the late 1600s was a game changer. Suddenly, players could apply, spin, execute delicate shots, and control the cue ball with newfound accuracy. But the cue stick was just the beginning of a technological revolution in the sport. For centuries, tables were made of wood, which would warp and change with humidity, making every game unpredictable. That all changed in the early 1800s with the introduction of slate beds. This heavy, perfectly flat stone created a playing surface that was smooth, consistent, and durable, allowing the balls to roll true every single time. It standardized the game in a way that was previously impossible. Then came the cushions. Early rails were just wooden planks, sometimes stuffed with cloth or horsehair, offering very little bounce. But in 1845, the discovery of vulcanization, a process that makes rubber more durable, and elastically to the creation of rubber cushions. This innovation transforms the game, introducing the complex bank shots and positional play that are central to modern pool. Finally, let's talk about the balls themselves. For a long time, the best pool balls were carved from ivory, which was not only expensive, but also devastating for elephant populations. The material was also inconsistent. In 1907, a chemist named Leo Bakelite invented Bakelite, the world's first synthetic plastic. It was the perfect material for pool balls, durable, uniform, and affordable. Bakelite balls saved countless elephants and, more importantly for the game, ensured that every set of balls played exactly the same. From a casual game at a bar to a world championship match, so we have the table, the cue, and the balls. But where did the name pool come from? Interestingly, it had nothing to do with the game itself, at least not at first. Back in the 19th century, a pool room was a betting parlor where people would wager on horse races. To keep patrons entertained between races, these establishments installed billiard tables. People would pass the time playing this table game. And soon, the name of the room, the pool room, became associated with the game played inside it. The name stuck, and billiards played in these establishments became known simply as pool. While the game's roots are European, its soul was forged in America. The United States became a melting pot for cue sports, and this is where the game truly diversified and exploded in popularity. American ingenuity led to the creation of exciting new variants. The classic, strategic game of straight pool gave way to faster-paced, more accessible versions. 8-ball, with its simple objective and clear group-based play. became the most popular casual game in the world, a staple in every bar and recreation center. 9-ball, a quicker, more aggressive rotation game, became the favorite of professionals and gamblers, where any player could win at any moment with a golden break. The game became woven into the fabric of American culture, a symbol of both friendly competition and gritty, high-stakes drama. That gritty, dramatic side of pool truly captured the public's imagination in the 20th century. Thanks in large part to Hollywood. The game's inherent tension and the shadowy world of the pool hall were a perfect fit for the silver screen. In 1961, the film The Hustler, starring Paul Newman as the ambitious, fast-Eddie, brought the world of high-stakes pool to a massive audience. It wasn't just a movie about a game. It was about pride, ambition, and the psychological warfare between players. The film sparked a massive boom in the sport's popularity. A quarter of a century later, Newman reprised his role alongside a young Tom Cruise in The Color of Money, directed by Martin Scorsese. This film introduced a new generation to the cool, calculated world of the pool hustler and cemented the game's place in pop culture. Beyond the movies, real-life legends were being made. Hustlers like the legendary Rudolph Minnesota Fats Wanderone became larger-than-life figures. Known as much for their charismatic personalities as for their skills on the table. Trickshot artists like Efren the Magician Reyes and Mike Massey elevated the game to an art form, performing seemingly impossible shots that defied physics. Pool was no longer just a game, it was a subculture, a lifestyle with its own heroes, villains, and unwritten codes of honor. Today, pool is more popular and more global than ever. It has shed much of its gritty, underground image to become a respected international sport. Professional tournaments with huge prize pools are broadcast worldwide. Fairs, featuring players from every corner of the globe who compete with incredible skill and sportsmanship. It's a game that transcends age, gender, and background. You'll find youth leagues teaching kids the fundamentals of geometry and focus. And you'll find seniors enjoying a friendly game at the local community center. The digital age has taken pool to another new frontier. Online platforms and realistic video games allow millions to play against each other from their own homes, to turning it into a legitimate esport with its own professional players and massive online communities. From the royal lawns of medieval Europe to the digital arenas of the 21st century, pool has had an incredible journey. It remains a game of sharp angles, steady hands, and a cool head. A perfect blend of physics, artistry, and attitude. And to think, it all started with a simple lawn game and a stick. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the history of pool. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories behind your favorite sports. Let us know in the comments what your favorite pool variant is: 8-ball, 9-ball, or something else. And get ready, because our next episode is a strategy showdown: snooker versus pool. See you then!